turning to Detroit. Bishop.
I'm invested a little bit in the quarterback in Houston, so I think that in that sense, yes. Fact, the best thing that could happen for C.J. Stroud is to have 2 years with the same coordinator, the same tactics, not have to learn anything new, the same voice. This gives C.J. Stroud a real chance for success. I think the ceiling of that is higher than – like, the Lions are going to be good no matter what. They're going to be fine. Goff's had a bunch of different systems. They could have found somebody else. He's well established and a pro's pro. The Lions benefit tremendously by getting him to come back, but the upside in Houston is so much bigger because of Slowick. That'd be my case.
I am going to turn it around the other way and say, not looking at it from C.J. Stroud's perspective, I'm looking at it more from a league perspective. I think Johnson returning to Detroit was a bigger deal and or surprise to the league. I think he was kind of penciled in Washington.
Yes, he was.
Slowick was somebody that was ascending, and I think it still kind of felt like Slowick was going to get a job next year's cycle, whereas Johnson, it felt like, was going to get a job this year's cycle. And to your point, they don't get Johnson, and then they panic. Browns Therapy sent out the great pick of us from the Hoffs party. No, that is not the picture.
That was a great night, a wonderful night.
We were sitting, to paint the scene, we were sitting amongst sunscreen and personal products.
The only way anybody would have it is if they had the physical
DDM,
copy.
Right? We were in a DDM.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. Someone would have to have the physical copy.
Yeah.
Of
South.
That.
In the South?
Yeah.
It was way out.
Correct.
Yeah, it was a hike.
Yeah. It was. Next.
Fact or fiction?
Fact or fiction, Andy Reid is the best coach in the NFL right now. Bo Bishop.
Yeah. He's fourth. Yeah, I think it probably is. I mean, he went to 3 straight NFC Championship games in Philly. He's had various coordinators. I mean, he's got the unicorn with him right now, but he's going to go for his 3rd Super Bowl. He's played in, what will this be? He's played in 5, coached in 5 Super Bowls, Andy Reid.
Uno, what is this, KCD? Kevin Stefanski's going to win his 2nd Coach of the Year in the last 4 years.
That's true.
Best coach in the league.
Best coach in the league. Yeah. And he's damn good. 4th all time in wins. He's like 258.
Which I did not have.
He's the best non-Kevin Stefanski in the league.
Fine.
Okay.
258, and he's
good spin by you.
If you feel like as long as he plays as long as he's coaching the kid, and he's not going to do anything else, like 5 more years, he'll be in the 310s.
All right, hold on. Because now I've thought about that, what I just said, and I'm taking it back. Do you or do you not think that if you just take Andy Reid out of Kansas City and plop Kyle Shanahan in there,
he'd probably blow it in the 4th quarter in the Super Bowl?
Oh,
if that was the case.
boy.
Bum, 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 bum.
Here's the thing, though.
I want Kyle to win.
That's why.
Kyle's
initially,
in the conversation.
Initially, I said no
because of Kyle.
Well, I was thinking, and McVay, honestly, like McVay's been to the mountaintop, and won it. So that's more than Kyle's done.
Kyle's done it with. You think of the people that Kyle has done it with relative to Patrick Mahomes,
but he's been in 2 Super Bowls. He's won with Goff,
even
and then
Stafford.
He's won one. He's been in one with Goff, and he won one with Stafford.
Yes.
And some of this is Kyle's own fault. Like the quarterback thing, it's his own fault. He picked all those guys, so it's on him.
Garoppolo couldn't even do anything in Vegas.
It's his fault. He picked these guys.
I'm just saying. Garoppolo with Kyle and Garoppolo with Josh McDaniels in Vegas.
Here's the problem, though.
They were like, no,
with
you're
Andy,
done.
It's 3 straight NFC Championship games and a Super Bowl appearance in Philly.
Donovan McNabb, T.O.
Then he was really
Ryan
good.
Westbrook.
He was really good with Alex Smith in Kansas City, too. Like, they won 12 games, like playoffs every year.
Yep.
And then he gets the unicorn, and then it's nuts.
I'd like to see him.
I think it's him.
I'd like to see him play his 4th and 5th quarterbacks in a season and see how it works out for him.
That's valid.
Let's test his mettle.
Yeah.
Because we won 11 games.
We did. Yeah. I think
Thank you
for
for yelling into the microphone.
I think it's fact. I think Andy's it.
Uno,
he's got a chance.
Let's get Uno.
He's got a chance to be. Here's one. Is it more likely that Reid gets Shula than Belichick?
Yes.
I think it is.
Well, at this point, you'd have to say yeah. I think
Belichick's 72, 71, 72, sitting out a year. Does he get another run?
I think Reid's body of work gives him an opportunity to be on the Mount Rushmore of greatest coaches ever. Modern era.
Yeah, because you can't go.
It's hard with Vince Lombardi and Paul Brown. Like,
Yeah, how do you put that into context? Different world.
different world, different league, different.
Yeah.
I'm saying of the Super Bowl era.
Yeah.
Bill Walsh, Belichick, Shula.
I don't think it's Shula.
No?
Joe Gibbs won 3 Super Bowls with 3 different quarterbacks.
Joe
Gibbs is on a short list, brother. Short
Joe
list.
Gibbs.
3 Super Bowls, 3 different
And he has a
quarterbacks.
racing team.
He did have a racing team. Joe Gibbs would have had a run. That was a run.
All right, we'll do this in the offseason. This will be a good.
That is a good one, though. Shula wins the he wins the Super Bowl early. Did he won one in Baltimore too, didn't he? Like an early Super Bowl, but then that wouldn't count because that's like the
He had the
Lombardi
perfect
one.
season.
And then he had the perfect season, and then that's it.
George Seifert.
Your boy.
He might have the highest winning percentage
He
ever.
used to forever. He had the highest winning percentage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next,
Fact or fiction?
Russell Wilson will be a more attractive option this offseason than Kirk Cousins. Zagura.
No.
Fiction.
Fiction. You see Kirk Cousins ran some kids on the road and they were like, come to our science class, and he did. Guys, like,
He's an amazing human.
he seems awesome. Like,
He's like the best guy ever.
totally.
Yeah.
Strange at times.
One of the most remarkable was like his little room on the quarterback in his house that he built with like wire hangers for like enormous and consequential awards. But it was like his wife didn't want him in the main room.
It's a secret room. It doesn't even
secret
have a
room.
real door.
That's right. Secret room
It's
for
a
his
secret
stuff.
room for
No one wants to see your stuff.
He's like, honey, I built this house.
Nobody wants to see it. Put your stuff in your secret room. But this was when I would.
You
when
need
I
to have a
was-
secret room, and not all of your kids can come to the games.
That's right. Only one.
Only one.
Your quarterback.
That
the
sounds
team,
like something your father would
And they're
do.
sitting in the
He's
stands.
the-
They're not even a
he's-
suite.
He's made more money than anybody because he maxed out the
Yes.
all of
He
that.
played it perfectly.
He played it perfectly, and only one kid got to go to the playoff game, and he's got a secret room for his
And
treasures.
one kid gave it up. Remember, he comes home. He's like, you gave your seat up to your brother. That's so nice of you. Why are we having to make these decisions at 6 years old, Dad, when you're playing in the playoffs?
can
You
afford
could
it.
buy a suite, Dad.
Why wouldn't he just have one? Like just
Why isn't it a part of his contract? I
of
want
course,
a suite.
I get a suite. Brittany Mahomes get a suite anywhere. Kirk Cousins can get
Anywhere.
a suite in Minnesota.
Anywhere. By the way, you and Griff
Yeah.
are toast. You are toast, McGhost.
I don't know what this is in reference to.
The over-under on Kelsey and Taylor Swift was Valentine's Day. You're less than 2 weeks away, and you were the only two on the under.
We were both under.
Yeah. Griff's hustling at the alley
Yeah,
so
you
that he can provide a meal at the level that you can.
Did we say February 4th? Is that what we did?
Oh, yeah.
That's
It's on the
locked
board
now.
right
They
there.
could
I
be
guess
engaged by that point.
we need it to it's going to have to fall when she's in Tokyo. That's my best chance now. Doesn't seem likely.
Does not seem likely.
No.
Do you see their interaction? And he's like, oh, I love you. It's like, oh, I love you. Oh, I'm going to go hang with the guys now. Okay, I love you. I've never been so proud of somebody. Oh, thank you. I love you. They're full schmoopy on the
Full
field.
schmoopy, yep.
Love it.
Yeah.
I had a little schmoopy conversation with Miss K earlier, and Gibbons
Walked in and was like, I love you. I love you. I love you.
love you.
Oh, you're schmoopy. No, you're schmoopy. No, you're schmoopy.
schmoopy. Oh, that's the best.
Final one.
Fact
is a good
or
segment.
fiction?
Dan Marino is the best player ever to never win a Super Bowl.
Fiction.
CBS Sports put out a list. A few other modern-day options for you. Includes Barry Sanders, Miranda Moss, LaDainian Tomlinson, J.J. Watt, just to name a few.
So so for me, I think it would be, I think it's Randy, Barra, but Dan's there. He's right there. He's real good. But I think Randy.
Love Dan Marino. Tremendous quarterback, great arm, good actor in Ace Ventura. But no way, and here's the bar that I'm going to use.
Yep.
In the greatest game that's ever played,
Yep. I love this. Always a good. it's a good
Randy
bar
Moss
argument.
is a starting wide receiver for one of the two teams.
Yep.
Dan Marino, if you're talking four quarterbacks, probably isn't in the game.
No.
So-
it would be Montana. It would be Brady. It would be Manning,
And maybe Mahomes,
and maybe heading towards Mahomes. Yeah.
Elway.
Here's one though. Nobody benefited more from a late success in a Super Bowl than Elway.
Agreed.
Because the time when they played, It felt like most people thought Marino was better than Elway until Elway won late, and then it validated.
Won back-to-back.
He won those
Well, and
back-to-back.
Marino's end was off of a cliff.
Do you remember
So-
those high tops he wore that went up to like his kneecaps
Oh
because
my
he tore
God.
his Achilles?
It was outrageous. No, so I think Moss is the answer. And
Barry is right there.
Barry's in the game,
Barry's in the game. He's in the
but
greatest
it's like
game
probably
ever played.
Jim Brown,
Barry,
Eric Dickerson.
Walter Payton.
Dickerson
Walter
was on the
Payton.
list of guys who have never won.
Dickerson had
Tony
some
Gonzalez.
down. He had a couple of downs.
Tony Gonzalez. Tony Gonzalez is in the ultimate game.
He would be, yeah.
The tight ends would be
I
probably.
think it would. I think if you had 4 running backs, it would be Brown, Sanders, Payton.
All right, real quick, and this is what we're gonna. This is all off-season stuff. We'll do some Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, I like it.
4 tight ends in the ultimate game. You're only allowed 4. We could make it 6, and I think you get there, but you're only allowed 4. I would posit Gronk is a lock. Tony Gonzalez is a lock. Kelsey's a lock.
Yeah.
So the last spot to me would be Unk or Antonio Gates. Or you go
Kellen
back to Kellen
Winslow would
Winslow,
be the other
Ozzie
one.
Newsome.
Kellen would be. Yeah. He'd be up there. Yeah, it's tough.
Some of the other guys on this list were Champ Bailey, Randall McDaniel, Steve Largent, Bruce Matthews, OJ,
Juice.
Adrian Peterson,
AP
J.J.
might be in
Watt.
the ultimate game.
Adrian Peterson was crazy.
Fran Tarkington, Larry Fitzgerald,
Like, is Emmett Smith?
He
Junior
feels like an
Seau,
accumulator.
Anthony Munoz,
Ladanian?
Bruce Smith.
Bruce Smith, very good.
Number 18 on this list, Hoff.
Hoff catching a stray, even in Munich.
It's still a compliment.
It is, but
Yeah, that's quite a
It's
list
a
to
hell
be
of a
on.
list to be
It's
the
a
first
you know?
offensive
It's
It's
lineman
a
on the
stray.
list.
It's like catching a stray in 24. You're healed an hour later. You're sprinting, you're running,
Yeah.
you're doing your thing.
All right. We've got a mailbag coming up, among other things. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Be part of one of the most passionate fan bases in the NFL. Join Next Gen STM, presented by Ticketmaster. The official wait list of your Cleveland Browns. Being a Next Gen STM is the best chance to become a season ticket member in future seasons. Visit clevelandbrowns.com/NextGenSTM to reserve your spot today. We mentioned the Dan Quinn news. He goes to the Commies. The Commies hold the pick number 2 and 5 in the top 100. 9 picks overall. They also have the most salary cap in the NFL with over $70 million. Nothing will get people fired up to go to Washington and play for anybody more than Dan Quinn.
I mean,
So
there's no doubt.
that's
It's like
what
he's
it's
got a magnetism. By the way, this is from Dove.
All right, Dove.
Ravens tight end Mark Andrews saved a woman's life today during a flight from Baltimore to Phoenix. I already like him better. He knows exactly where to go once your season is over.
The story is crazy.
A woman suffered a medical emergency, and medical personnel on the flight couldn't find a strong pulse. Andrews, who's a type 1 diabetic, got up from a seat and said, "Could it be your blood sugar? I have a diabetic testing kit." Andrews gave them his kit to use, and her heart rate stabilized. Now, I think it's pretty clear that the kit did not stabilize her heart rate, but they were able to accurately diagnose that was the issue, get her blood sugar up, and save her. Paramedics were able to treat her when the flight landed, and she's alive. So good job by Mark Andrews. Now, what I will say to this is 2 things. Number 1, amazing story. Number 2, the mentions to this story show where we are as a society on this, what has become a cesspool of an app.
Yeah. No, you can't. Yeah, this.
I won't give him the time of day.
Yeah. The Titans are hiring former Ravens defensive back coach Denard Wilson as their defensive coordinator. The Packers hiring Boston College head coach Jeff Hafley. He was a former defensive coordinator at Ohio State.
Wasn't
and has
Hafley
been
here?
Dude, yes. Hafley
Yeah.
was our secondary
Oh,
coach.
really? You guys had him here too?
Yeah.
He was with Aaron when Aaron Glenn. It was Hafley and Aaron Glenn. I think Hafley was safeties. Aaron Glenn was corners under Pettin.
Yeah.
I'll be
16.
damned.
And then he went to the Niners with Kyle.
Yeah.
So then that's where
And then Ohio State.
That's
and
where
then
Ryan
BC.
Day got to know him, was the Niners connection, because he was there, I think, with Chip. Because Ryan was with Chip.
He was
somewhere.
definitely there with.
Irregardless.
Irregardless.
There was he's been here, he's been there, and now he's going to go from Boston College head coach to Packers defensive coordinator. We'll be taking a pretty sizable pay cut to do that. All sorts of reporting that it's because of all of the chaos in name, image, and likeness, and that very well could be true.
I don't blame him.
But at the same time, like
Yeah.
anytime people complain about that, you made the bed, you have to lay in it.
Hafley's a beast.
He's
I
a
like
beast.
him.
Dude, he was
Great dude.
S about Hafley.
All right, so he
Do you
went.
remember S with Hafley?
Oh, yeah, loved him.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay Bucks 2012 assistant DB coach, 13 DB coach. Browns 14 and 15 DB coach. Then he goes, so 16 may have been still Chip Kelly. He's Niners 16, 17, 18. That was Chip, defensive backs coach. Then Ohio State 19. Boston College 2023 as head coach. And then now Packers defensive coordinator.
Yeah. That's, I think, where he and Day, because Day was under the Chip Kelly regime.
Yep. Then yes.
Yep. The Dolphins interviewing a familiar name, Rams defensive assistant Chris Shula for the defensive coordinator job. He's the grandson of the legendary Don Shula.
Couple things. Titans hiring the Ravens DB coach means Brandon Lynch did not get the job.
Big win for us.
Great for us. And it took another person from that Ravens defense.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, they promoted this morning their linebacker coach.
Zach Orr, their linebacker
Former
coach.
player.
Is the defensive coordinator?
Yeah, in Baltimore.
Not Weave.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Are we ready for the Griff fact of the day?
I'm ready.
Fact of the day, fact of the day, fact of the day. It's the Griff fact of the day.
I love the song.
Thank you.
We all love it.
Did you produce today's?
I saved his song from yesterday.
Very sad. That's
All right, so
negatory.
he's working. He's working. All right, go ahead. Go ahead, Uno.
Chiefs defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo has tied legendary Dick LeBeau for the most Super Bowl appearances by a defensive coordinator. Spagnuolo is also the only coordinator to win Super Bowls with 2 different franchises.
Those 2 franchises being the Chiefs, and then what did he win it with the? No, not Rams.
Which one, kids? I got this already.
Do you have
New
it?
York Giants.
That's correct. 2007.
Giants. There you go.
How many Super Bowls has he been to? It's not on here.
5.
Spags.
Spags and Dick LeBeau both in 5.
I would like some
It's a
of these.
pretty nice run.
I would like some of these facts of the day to be about you two.
Well, we're off season.
Yeah.
What
did you
kind
have
of
until?
things about us?
Did you guys?
Things that we don't know.
I don't know if that's
That are
a
fact.
good
I don't know.
idea
Yeah, I
at
don't-
On the right
all.
platform. If someone would have asked me if it was Steve Spagnuolo or Steve Spagnola, I would have thought it was Nola.
So when I was writing it, I initially wrote it with an A at the end, thinking it was Steve Spagnola.
Steve Spagnola. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't have read it.
I wouldn't have put the
I wouldn't
emphasis on the O.
I wouldn't have worried
Griff
about it
fixed
either
it
way.
for me.
Yeah, I would not have put the emphasis on the O. And everybody just calls him Spags. All right, mailbag coming up next. You'll listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Welcome in. Welcome back. Gibbe is here. Time for a Mailbag Thursday presented by the Cross Country Mortgage Company. That's your official mortgage partner of your Cleveland Browns when it comes to financing. They're always going to get you home. Visit ccm.com today. Equal housing opportunity, NMLS 3029. Hello, Gibbe.
Gents, mailbag time.
Let's do it, baby.
Tweet your questions to @Browns_daily. Many of you already have. Let's get right down to it. James the Ringer tweets at the show. A three-parter regarding movies in honor of the Oscars coming up. 1, last movie you saw in the theaters. Is it Maverick?
Top Gun Maverick, I think.
Might be for me.
I feel like I went to the movies with the kids recently.
Oh, I did we went to one of the outdoor ones and did Mario.
Oh, there
Super
you
Mario
go.
Brothers. Now, I couldn't hear a damn thing because the speaker was, I couldn't, it was
Wah, wah.
a
My
total,
kids saw
totally
Mean Girls
sucky
in the theater
experience.
recently.
I think it was Maverick.
I definitely have seen some. I don't remember, though.
Okay.
I don't ever, that seems
Oh, I
like
saw the new Indiana Jones, the latest Indiana
they do
Jones.
on that. Did they screw
Yes,
that
we
up?
saw that.
That was like last July.
It was good. It was good fun.
It was good
fine.
fun.
Yeah. Favorite movie of all time?
It wasn't Maverick. Favorite movie of all time? Comedy, Caddyshack. Serious movie, Last of the Mohicans. God, I love that film. It's beautiful. It's cinema at its finest.
That was my
score.
pickup movie
The score was so
in
good.
college. Hey, let's go watch a movie.
So,
let's curl up the
Mohicans?
Last of the Mohicans.
I mean, there's
a lot of emotion.
There's
Just
a lot
saying.
of romance in it.
Worked out
That's such a hard one because
half the time.
there are movies
Every
that,
time.
like, if like Roadhouse or Commando is on, I'm in.
Yes.
Like, I enjoy the hell out of those movies. I enjoy First Blood and Rambo. All of those are just, but I think, I'll tell you this. The most fun experience I've ever had at a movie was my senior year of high school. My brother and I went out to Seattle. We stayed at our Uncle Warren's house, and he took us to Pulp Fiction. We kept asking him to take us to Pulp Fiction.
Yes.
And we didn't really know what it was other than that it was supposed to be great. It was on the cover of Entertainment Weekly. And that was as much fun as I've ever had at the movies.
I vividly remember seeing American Pie in the theater in Washington, D.C. and being like,
All
this
right.
is a fine film.
That was quite good.
They nailed it.
They
Why
crushed
can't we
it.
make
Yeah.
comedies like that?
Yeah. Dumb and Dumber was like that too. When I
Dumb-
saw that in the theater, it just died.
As a kid, though, seeing Return of the Jedi in the theater was a big moment for young me.
Yeah,
and
those
Top
were
Gun,
huge.
the original Top Gun.
Original
in the
Top
theater.
Gun was huge. Maverick was awesome in the theaters.
Maverick
It
was
was
awesome.
It's awesome, period. But it was
Period.
great in the theaters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Save the movie industry. Weirdest movie you've ever seen? I'll throw one out there. Joe versus the Volcano in a theater.
In the theater.
Weirdest movie I ever saw in a theater, given that I was being chaperoned by a young lady's mother, was Sliver.
Holy.
It's one that leaves a
How
mark
old?
because
You went with the girlfriend and the mom?
it was just a date. It was like a first date, me, Sophia Retta, and her mom. I remember her name. I remember it.
You had to
Holy
be in high
God.
school.
Yes, in high school. That's why. there
And
was still
whose
a chaperone.
idea was this?
Don't know. Don't remember.
I,
how we got
I feel
there.
like this is
Incredible.
your idea.
It was
all the
definitely
way.
not my idea. There's no way this would.
No,
my
you would
idea.
not want that. That is a disaster.
Oh, it was a disaster.
Do you guys have any? They have no point of reference of what that is. Sliver.
Have you guys ever heard of Basic Instinct?
Griff,
Griff,
yes.
of course.
Griff.
We're learning
Me,
a lot
obviously,
about
no.
I
Griff
learned
today.
a lot about Griff.
Yeah.
This was like not a sequel, but it was the next movie that was supposed to be of that same.
Basic Instinct
Genre.
became like a have you seen this movie
Yes.
phenomenon, especially for it's a great movie regardless
Sliver was
of the
Sharon
rest of it.
Stone.
And it was her running it back
And
and it was like, well, there's going to have to be
Baldwin, and there was a lot. No,
God, that's crazy.
I remember just being like,
crazy.
I remember just being like,
We're going to do what?
get this over. Like,
Please stop.
End this film.
Please stop.
Did she sit with you?
We sat like
Oh,
this,
no.
and then she sat like
Yes.
a row,
Oh.
like
Oh,
over and behind us one row.
Of course, behind you, she's want to keep an eye on things. You can look. Oh no,
It was awful.
that's horrible.
It was horrible. The best thing about
That's
that
horrible.
experience was the blue raspberry icy.
After?
Before, during,
Yeah, after.
and
What's
during.
the car ride
After,
home
there was
like?
not, silence.
talk.
Not a lot of talking. It was like a car
How
ride
long
home.
did the
with-
relationship last after? Not
It
long.
was not another date.
Oh, my God.
It was so uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's awful. That's really awful.
They did things in that movie
Yep.
that were not done
Yes.
at that
Nope.
time.
Nope.
H. Schneider, what
Now it's
country
in
would you
Saltburn,
most
everybody's like, oh.
like to visit?
Australia.
Australia, Dabo.
Go see her.
By the way, look at. Would you guys give me feast your eyes on this for a second? I mean, Dabo is such a legend. He's basically the king of Australia, I've decided.
He certainly has the Gold Coast in Brisbane. Those are his people.
No big deal.
Good for him. Looks great.
Dabo and Brady.
Yeah.
No big deal.
We got Dave. Dave can take care of us in Melbourne, and we got Dabo can take care of us in Brisbane.
Yeah.
We're set.
We're not going to, I don't believe that after meeting Dabo's associates, we're not going to, that area, and they're in Sydney, so we'll have Brisbane, Sydney covered. We got Melbourne as well. I mean, we're
We're in good spot.
going to be,
Yeah.
we're talking, the red carpet will be rolled out in an epic fashion.
Yeah,
We really
it's gotta
should
happen.
go and do it right after one of our seasons ends because that's their summer. So we would
Correct.
get out of here. We'd go right into their
Considering
summer.
nowhere in the United States right now is it above like 70 degrees,
Yeah.
which is just gross and disgusting.
Yeah.
You know, the other day it was warmer in Saskatchewan than it was in Cape Coral, Florida.
Jeez. What a weird.
It's a great weather fact. That
is
should have been
a
the
fact.
Griff
That should be
fact of the
Griff fact
day.
of the day right there. Might. What about Gibby weather fact of the day? Who gets hurt with that?
Nobody.
A lot.
Nobody.
From David Whalen, would you rather be trapped in a romantic comedy with your enemies or trapped in a horror movie with your friends?
Romantic comedy.
Romantic comedy
enemies.
all
I don't
the
want any
way.
part of horror movies.
Yes.
I hate horror movies.
I don't like them either. I think they suck.
Yes. And people are going to die.
Yeah, I don't like them. Never liked them.
Let's see. Hold on. I saw one earlier, and I. Man, I couldn't. I can't find one. There was one that. Oh, here it is. From LS1_C Monkey.
Okay.
Who's your favorite Curb companion, and who's the most annoying character?
No one's annoying. They're all great.
Correct.
Funkman's my guy, but Leon is 1A.
Funkman, Leon, they're easily the best. There are no annoying ones.
No.
I don't-
Everybody's necessary.
They are. I think if somebody were to be annoying in that show, if there was one person that I would like to walk up to and just smack in the face, it'd be Ted Danson.
Right, but I don't think he's that way in real life.
Of course not.
And
But he
plays that perfectly, and
Schwimmer was also a crud.
Schwimmer actually was, and I think that's probably closer to how Schwimmer is in real life.
Yeah.
I think that seems very natural to me that he's that. Because Danson, remember, Danson played. He plays Ted Danson the whole time, but like he is actually married to Mary Steenburgen, and in the early episodes they're together.
Yeah, Ted Mary.
And Jerry wants
Larry
LD
and-
wants that type of.
Yeah, remember they're going shopping
They're
together?
going shopping and all that for the camper
That's like
shoes.
season 1.
That's way early. But then and now he's with
Cheryl.
Cheryl, and so it's he's great though.
He is, but I'm saying he's
punchable. Yeah.
He is.
Yeah. The Funk Man is
Funkman is just so
Leon
good.
is so
I'm trying to think who other annoying people that his is it his cousin that he had to kick out of the
that
middle
guy
of the
and the
table?
wife.
Yeah.
that guy and the wife.
Oh yeah, they're terrible.
They're not good middles.
No, they had to throw him out.
They had to get out. Yeah.
He's
'cause
the guy.
remember,
He's from Red Oaks.
He wanted to.
Wasn't he the dad?
wasn't. Yeah, he was. They wanted to sell like those hats.
Yeah.
Like he's paying for the college. He's doing all
Yeah.
this stuff, and then they want more.
Yeah.
You can't sell their hats. Their
Stupid
hats are stupid.
Yeah, stupid hats.
Yeah.
At Rome 704. I would officially like it put to a vote to have the last outro by Mr. Bishop be "No Much More to Come," coined by the great Z. Roman in Charlotte, a.k.a. the Mizfest party bus conductor.
Oh baby.
I like that.
All right. How about it?
I took
Well-
that down as a note.
How about it?
Yeah. So when it's done and I walk away, when you hear me say "no much more to come," that's it. That's a wrap. Next level's next. That's when you'll know.
I'll
I don't
weep.
like any of this.
I wrote
talk
that
all of
down.
a sudden.
I'll weep.
Yeah, you'll be fine. That's it. That's what that music tells you.
Dan Berger
So
asks,
in this
does the
case-
reportedly new Doors have any relation to the full Doors?
No.
No.
No, the full Dorse was a moment in time.
It was.
Yeah.
It was fun.
It was so much fun. Remember he'd come in here on Easter.
Good Friday gave us Easter candy.
Easter candy in the middle of the show.
Handfuls of
Pop
Easter
in.
candy.
He helped plan my honeymoon
That's right.
in Croatia.
That's right.
He gave books to Mo Pedman's cousin.
Yeah.
Mo Pedman was like, I'm interested in learning more about the game. Next thing you know,
Here you go.
he comes in the one day and he's like, give these to your guy. And there were like 3 books.
That's great. Yeah, I still see him at lacrosse in the summers. I see him around.
Is he still working
Still
gum?
He's working the gum.
1 minute. 1 minute.
He's working that gum. Well, he is, but not the rest.
Well, yeah, everybody else is back here.
Is around.
Yeah.
So I see him every spring and every summer on the reg, man. Absolutely. All right. Wyatt Teller coming up next.
Maybe.
I suppose it's possible.
Can't say he wouldn't.
Can't say it's not possible.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is a Friday edition.
One of the few.
That's
remaining.
I don't know what we're
One of the few remaining in 2024.
we're not doing over-unders. We're not doing scores.
Open up the
gotta
mailbag,
tweak a
Gibby.
few.
Open
Well,
up the mailbag.
I'd like to.
I got
to
a
go
whole
ahead
segment devoted to Bobby.
No,
I'd like to
no. The next level's next. Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland.